Hey guys, Art 2 here, and we're in week 1 still. We're going to talk about assignment number 2. As you can see here, it says harmonious lines, and I'm going to show you some examples of that. Also, the homework is a drawing of choice. And in doing the drawing of choice or any other assignment that's where it's relevant, the thing to do is watch the videos. If you have watched them, then remember, if you need to watch them again, please do. Sometimes it takes several times to watch something before you understand it completely. But I want you to use those principles and elements in all your drawings. So the drawing of choice is no different. You need to put the shading techniques that you learned and gesture drawing, holding the pencil, all those need to be applied to every drawing you're doing where it's relevant to it. So, harmonious lines is kind of on its own a little bit. It's sort of a different little project than most the shading, of course, because it's not about shading, it's about harmonious lines. Here are some examples of harmonious line drawing. Now, this is pretty intricate here, but you could pull it off if you wanted to do something like that. Over here, there's many, many more examples. This is Bing. Going to Bing Images, putting in harmonious line drawings, and you'll see all this. So they're basically patterns that work with each other. There's a harmony in the type of line. So these are sort of like stair steps lines working with each other. They have a harmony to the edge of it because they're stair-like. It goes on through the whole drawing that way, and then they are slightly twisted as well, and then they all fit in together. And like I say, there's many different patterns to this. Look at these. Tons. And you make it up or try to copy one. It's still a good practice. And so, and then you can actually make shapes happen. Like this looks like folded paper because of the way they have used the line and it's stopping here and making it go over here and over here and over here and back over here and up and down and back. It's just because they stopped one place and angled it off another direction. And then it's consistent with itself, but it does flow and change form throughout. Well, here's another idea on that. Now, this looks like lumps or, mountains and caverns with what you're drawing. And the way they're doing that is, as they come around, they get closer and closer with each other as they turn, or they get further and further away from each other as they turn. And that creates what's perceived to be a crevice here and then an open area or a mounded area, as opposed to now it's falling down a slope type of thing. And you get that done by putting the lines either closer or further away from each other as they flow. And then there's a consistency to how they flow with each other. But at one point or another, you decide, well, I'm going to dip down here and continue that on to about here, and then I'm going to smooth it out and do something else. Okay? That's how they're doing that. It can also be something more like this, where you're leaving a little bit of empty space here and there. It's not completely covered, which looks good to do that. So this is the empty space over here, and here's all the more congested forms. Again, they're getting tightly close together and possibly making a ridge in different places. And maybe you can just start with one section and then work to another section and then work another section to get that accomplished. It doesn't have to represent anything in particular, but it could. This is another take on harmonious lines, where they're using lines completely. It's almost like a pen and ink drawing, using lines completely to make this image. And they are harmonious with themselves, as all the lines are either, they do have sections, you see. That's not a complete line, there's sections of lines. And so that brings in sort of a shadowy halo behind this guy's head, where it's a little less over here because of how far away they are from each other, creating a lighter area and a darker area because they're more congested here. And then all the lines change direction here. They do have a contour, but they all change direction there. I would stay away from trying to draw something complete like that. I think it's better to go with the patterns, but I'll leave it up to you, and we'll see how it goes. Here's many, many more patterns. These look like organic leaves or flowers or something like that. Here's a sort of snail shape going on with each other, and it does fill the page in those ways. Stay away from the scribble line thing right now. We can do that later with a pen and ink sort of idea. And then you got these illusion ideas here, where it looks like things might be moving and stuff. But there's lots of ideas here. Harmonious lines, there's tons. Okay, but do your own, or get an idea from one and then do your own. All right, so that's the harmonious lines. Put it on one paper, make it big. I haven't gotten any word back from the college on gift cards yet, but we will still be able to do this for into next week, and then we're going to need to get paints, or I'll change up the assignments and switch things around, and we'll get through this. Hopefully by then they have given me the gift cards to send out to everybody. All right, and I'll let you know how to use the gift cards, where to go to order your supplies when that comes to me, and it hasn't yet. So good luck on this one. Have fun with it, and we'll talk with you next week. Don't forget the drawing of choice, and if you can print out the schedule or just write up your own, it's a good way to keep track of it, of everything. But every week I'll post that schedule. Okay, you can take a screenshot of it probably, but if you need me to send it to you, please ask. That's fine too. Actually, several of you, if you're listening, I've only gotten 6 responses out of 17 when I asked students to respond to my email to let me know you're participating. I only got 6 people. So thank you for those 6, but I need the rest of you to respond. If a couple of weeks go by, then I haven't heard anything from you and you haven't turned in any work, I'm going to be forced to drop you. Certainly by Census Day, which is, I think, 3 or so weeks out. I'll have to drop you. So you need to really get on board here, communicate with me, write me an email, say, yes, I'm participating, I'm going to do the work, or whatever it is, okay? So I know you're here and you're going to participate. Otherwise, you're in jeopardy of being dropped. All right. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you next week.